I wanted to go over the homework you had the other day with the correct answers. So you need to get this paper out that I just gave you back, and I'm going to show you how it should have been done. You can compare it to what I wrote on your paper and see, what you need to change so that on the test you get these right. And you'll need a calculator. So the first one, we already determined that the radius was 2.3 centimeters. Somebody asked me how I came up with that. I measured it, and then I cut the measurement, and I measured the diameter, and I divided that in half. And when I round that to sig figs, it comes to 2.3. It doesn't, anyway. All right, so the formula says 2 pi r. So 2 times pi, 3.14, times radius is 2.3 centimeters. Now, notice I just took the formula that was given to me and I rewrote it. 2, I changed pi to pi, I changed r to what I measured my radius as, and then I did my calculations and came up with an answer. Let's see. So 2 times 3.14 times 2.3, I get 14.444. Remember, you have to round your answer to the correct amount of sig figs or significant digits. Remember, you see how many decimal digits are in your problem. Well, 2 is not a measurement. We know that because doesn't have a unit. 3.4 is not a measurement. We know that because it's pi, and pi is a ratio. But 2.3 is a measurement, and it has 1 decimal place. So the least number of decimal places in a measurement in your problem is 1. So you're going to round your answer to 1. The least number, which is this 4. This 4 makes that 4 stay the same. So my final rounded answer is 14.4. And all I have in here is centimeters. I don't have any other units, so my unit's centimeters. The next one, the distance a rocket booster fell if it fell for 165.23 seconds. And here's your formula, G times T. I know it's times because there's no symbol. A lot of you divided here, and it didn't ask you to divide. And you also need to, it says GT, so you put G first, 9.8 meters per second. A lot of you did that backwards, which made your unit backwards, which I didn't count wrong today, but somebody might. So the formula says put G first, you're going to put G first. And the times T, which is 165.23 seconds. I get a big decimal of 1619.254. This is a measurement, it has 1 decimal place. This is a measurement, it has 2 decimal place. The least number of decimal places is 1, so I round my answer to 1, which would be this 2. This 5 makes this 2 go to a 3, so my final answer is 1,619.3. I've got meters per second and I've got seconds. Remember, I told you that if 2 of your measurements were alike, you might be able to cancel them. We have seconds twice. If 1 is on top of the fraction and 1 is on bottom, you can cancel them out. Well, this one's on bottom, and if you remember, I told you if you have a unit that's not a fraction, you pretend like it's on top. So this seconds is on bottom, this seconds is on top. They cancel each other out, and you're left with meters, which makes sense because it's asking for a distance. Number 3, how fast were you driving when you went to Gatlinburg, which is 407 miles away, and you were driving for 6.25 hours? Here's your formula. It's a division problem. Remember, fraction means to divide. It says to put the distance on top of 407 miles. Got a lot of kids that weren't sure which one of those numbers were distance. Well, I'm guessing hours is not a distance, that's a time. And on the bottom it says to put the time, 6.25 hours. The number I actually get is 65.12. This number has 0 decimal places. This one has 2. The least number of decimal places is 0, so I have to round my answer to 0. 0 decimal places is this 5. The 1 makes the 5 stay the same, so your final answer is 65. Your units, if you wrote it like a fraction, some of you did not write it like a fraction, your units miles per hour. The next one is 4/3 pi r squared, pi r cubed. So if you rewrite this if you are looking for the volume of a sphere with a radius of 6.83 centimeters, so you're going to write 4 divided by 3 times pi, which is 3.14, times radius 3 times. The radius is 6.83 centimeters times 6.83 centimeters times 6.83 centimeters. Remember, I told you you need to write those all out. That way you'll remember that you have centimeters 3 times. I'm going to move this over just a tad. The answer I get is 1,333.92286. This is not a measurement. By the way, I took 4 divided by 3 times pi times 6.83 times 6.83 times 6.83. This fraction is not any different than any other. You just divide it. 4 divided by 3, you put the top number in first. Anyway, not a measurement, not a measurement. These 3 are measurements, and they have 2 decimal places, so you're going to round to 2 decimal places. That 2 is my second decimal place. The 2 next to it makes it say the same. So your final answer would be 1,333.92. Your units, no unit, centimeters, centimeters, centimeters. You took centimeters times itself 3 times, so it'd be centimeters cubed. Okay, I'm going to have to go to a part 2.